conversation on social media. How many people have come out on the streets across the country who have never been to a demonstration before? Can we give them a round of applause, please? Because people say, oh, why come out? Why hit the streets? Because every person who makes the effort to get on a bus or a train or walk or on their bike or in their cars, every person who comes here represents literally thousands more. And I'd like to acknowledge that conversation on social media of those who are some of the most victimised by this budget, by the most disgraceful attacks on the most vulnerable people of Australian society, people living with disabilities, the sick, senior Australians. They are on the internet and they're tweeting their support. They need us, and we will not let them down. We will not let down the young people of this country. We will not condemn them to 6 months of no income if they're unlucky enough to be unemployed. We will not encourage a criminal class of young people who are trying to survive. We are not going to make old age in this country a punishment. We are going to support our elders and our seniors into a comfortable old age. We are not going to foster fear. We are not going to foster division. We stand with Aboriginal Australians to protect their rights. We are not going to fall for the racist scapegoating of asylum seekers. We are Australians and we are better than that. We are not going to abandon the sick. We are not going to allow a co-payment and the attack on the principle of universal health care. We support welfare because welfare supports everyone. We are here because the Australia that we are the community of is a country of care, of support, of generosity, of welcome. We are a country of refuge. We are a country built on two communities, the dispossessed and the dispossessed and those who migrated. And to forget that is to forget, one, that we are all in this together. And we, as a nation, have a responsibility to a community that benefits everybody. What we have seen with this budget is the most feral attack that has ever come from a political party in government. It is disgraceful. Our speeches today will deliver the detail, but let's be very aware this is not a budget for Australia. This is a budget for a very small percentage of very rich people. This is a budget for those most privileged in corporate Australia. It is a budget for those who fund the Liberal Party. Why I'm here is to communicate the message to those on the land, those in regional Australia who are being denied infrastructure like the NBN. The largest group of people on welfare benefits in this country actually vote for the National Party. So I would like everybody here to make the call very loudly. People on the land, your party has betrayed you. Regional Australia has been massively screwed by this budget. And it's time for us in the cities to show solidarity with vulnerable, isolated communities and the living hell that their own representatives are foisting upon them. Can we have a bit of chanting? I'm a bit old school. I'm aware of the fact that the media are here, and I'm aware of the fact that the Liberal Party are listening. Can we have a bit of chanting that says, bust the budget, please? Bust the budget. Bust the budget. Bust the budget. Bust the budget. Bust the Bust the budget! Bust the budget! Bust the budget! Louder! Bust the budget! Fists in the air! Wave those flags! Wave them! Wave those signs! Let Tony Abbott know! This budget will not stand with the people! Bust the budget! Bust the budget! Bust the budget! Bust the budget! Applaud yourselves! That was marvellous! Let's get on with the show. It is my great pleasure to introduce David Ritter. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Australian Pacific Chapter of Greenpeace. He's a commentator. He used to be a lawyer, and like a lot of people here, he's got a family. He's going to speak to you now. David Ritter.
People of Sydney, good morning, good afternoon. Let us acknowledge that it was just under a month ago that many people gathered and marched on Anzac Day to remember the past. But we gather and march today because we are outraged at the dishonouring of the best of our country's past, and because we are outraged at the abandonment of our country's future. My friends, let me tell you, Greenpeace is independent from every government around the world, from every political party. We take no donations from business. We are entirely independent, but we are outraged at this government. And we are outraged at this government because we are seeing a ferocity and speed of attacks on the hard-won protections for our environment. We are outraged because we are seeing a government that is prepared to consider the industrialising of our Great Barrier Reef, this unthinkable thing. We are seeing a government that would sanction the destruction of our forests for the coal mining industry. We're seeing a government that seems determined to play wrecker in the international climate talks, and a government that would abandon the climate that is the very foundation of the future prosperity for our children and for our country. So we are outraged. We are outraged. But my friends, we are outraged. But let me suggest to you that what matters is not the temper of our outrage. Ultimately, what matters is the quality of our response. We know that we are facing a government that is motivated by meanness, by vindictiveness, that is pursuing a politics of destructiveness and perhaps a politics of hatred. This is what we see. My friends, we must be better than that. We must answer the politics of meanness, of vindictiveness, with our own politics of the common good. Let us look to what unites us. It would be all too easy to make this simply about the character or absence thereof of our Prime Minister and our Treasurer. But in truth, this is not about Tony Abbott or Joe Hockey. This is about a contest between two visions of our society, of our country. And we have on the one hand a mean vision, a vision that abandons the vulnerable, a vision that would see us alone and isolated, thinking of ourselves only as individuals. A vision that sees our country as no more than a marketplace for whichever big business happens to think it can make a buck first. A vision which says our Great Barrier Reef is up for grabs. A vision which says our country is for sale. And my friends, that is not our vision.
I don't think so.
Our vision is something altogether different. Our vision looks to the best of our country's past and insists that this government will go and that we can still have the Australia that is fairer, that is finer, that is more generous, in which there are oceans full of fish and the tall trees still stand. Let me share with you what I believe this government wants. This government wants all of us to feel lonely, to feel isolated. This is how they want us to feel. They want us to feel powerless. But my friends, you are among friends, here and all around Australia. And friends, we are strong. My friends, think about what people power has accomplished in Australia's long history. It is because of the power and determination of the Australian people that the Great Barrier Reef was not drilled for oil in the 1970s. It is because of the power and determination of the Australian people that the Franklin was not dammed. It is, my friends, because of the power and determination of the Australian people just this week that up at Bentley we saw the full might of the coal seam gas industry stopped in its tracks because of the power and determination of the Australian people. And from the far north of Queensland to the south of Tasmania, the Australian people will not be silent. We will stand by our Great Barrier Reef. We will stand by Laird State Forest. We will stand and we will prevail. My dear friends, when you walk away from this rally today, for which I thank you so abundantly and deeply for coming along to, I have a favour to ask you, and the favour is this. Remember that what this government wants is for us all to think that we are alone, but we are not. So when you walk away from here, remember that the political answer to the mean individualism, the extreme, out-of-control, individualistic approach of this government is our shared politics of the common good. And when you leave today, be involved. Join a local group. Join a club. Go to your place of worship if you have one. Join your work association if you have one. Get involved in a local campaign. Get involved in local government. Remember, they want you to think of yourselves as alone, but you are not. Together we are strong. The Australian people shall not stand for this. We shall prevail. Thank you.
And a shout out to those at the Bentley blockade who beat the Raiders this week. How awesome is this? There are 15,000 people rallying today with us on the streets of Adelaide. I didn't know there were 15,000 people in Adelaide. And they're coming. They're with us. Look at all of these people. Get out your phone. Hashtag March in May. Hashtag bust the budget. I have a request. The media would like to get you from another angle chanting. Is that okay? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had an NBN in this country? Yeah. Wouldn't it be wonderful? And I'd like to acknowledge there are people from the tech community who are marching today. Can they have a round of applause, please? work. Tony Abbott thinks that the internet is a video entertainment system. This is a man who's clearly never used an ATM or ever made an emergency call. Or, you know, turned up to a job where he had to do his own typing. So can I applaud the IT community who are fighting so hard against an agenda that would strip this country of world-class digital infrastructure and would give us an internet which is on a lower quality than they're currently being provided in Rwanda. Can I have a chant that says, "We want our NBN, please"? We want our NBN. We want our NBN.